and welcome to another episode of Breaking Down the Tape. We are 2 weeks in a row that things are just a little bit different. My co-host Hector, I said what I said, is working again, putting the needs of his family before us. We'll shame him at a later date. But this week I've got Coach Tae Brooks,
Yes, sir.
defensive back and special team coach for the Green Bay Blizzard, which is an arena football league. So I know we talk a lot about NFL football. James from Pound for Pound has been bringing us into the college world a little bit, but now it's starting to kind of expand into arena football. And I couldn't think of a better person to bring on than Coach Tay. So I'm going to let him take the floor for a second, tell you about himself, and we'll go from there. It's all
All
yours.
right. Yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Um, yeah, man, Coach Tay, first name Tevion, last name Brooks. I just go by Tay. Tevion be kind of hard for people to say, but yeah, 25 years old, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Defensive back coach, special team coach, Tulsa East High School, Green Bay Blizzard in the IFL. So yeah, man, I'm glad to be here, man. Just ready to chop it up and talk some football. Yeah, get the
Hell
show
yeah,
on the road.
that's what
Yeah,
we're all about, man. I'm happy to have you on. I know we just started connecting the other day. So Coach Tay and I met. As some of our fans may know, I'm a representative, a player rep through Pro Level Sports. So I was trying to see if I could get some of my guys on Coach Tay. He doesn't like me enough just yet. But we'll get there. We'll get that relationship there. But no, I'm just busting his chops. So we got to chit chatting, man. We just chopped it up about football, and like I said, I think that because me personally, just for a little bit about myself, so I'm a big football guy, right?
hmm
Huge NFL guy, huge college guy. But like I knew there was arena football. I know that there's the CFL. You know what I mean? Like I know that they exist, but even like a big football guy like myself don't really watch it. Don't even know that there is the Pennsylvania Union, and I live in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? So I'm
yeah,
hoping that through a series of interviews, starting with yourself, that we can kind of shine some more light on football that happens in the spring. We do have year round football. A lot of my fans and a lot of people, are begging for spring football. Well, we have it. We don't need the USFL. We've had spring football for how long now? So, I'm hoping we can shed some light on it. So, Coach Shea, I know that when we were talking, in messages before, you kind of referred to your football experience as a little unorthodox. I was kind of hoping that you
yeah.
could give us a little bit of a brief overview as to what you mean by that.
Well, it all just start back like in high school. Actually, high school. Freshman year, I was in Pensacola, Florida. Went to Palm Forest. I was a quarterback actually. I was a quarterback. We ran an option. Um, Transferred to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We ended up moving my sophomore year of high school. Transferred to Milwaukee. So then I was the option quarterback there. They already had their offense and everything, and they was like, "Oh, what did you play your freshman year?" Da da da. Like we ran option. It was an option offense. So I basically brought the option with me from Florida and brought it to Milwaukee. So my coaches kind of liked it because they ran option, but it wasn't like the option how we ran it in Florida with the dive action and we ran some wing tee, everything like that. So it was kind of cool. Bringing that offense over and my coach using me in a lot of different ways. Uh, I ended up transferring to another school my junior year, Pulaski, and I played quarterback there. Um, and it was me and the senior quarterback David Hernandez, and we both was like pretty good athletes and everything. So the coach was trying to figure out how to get us both on the field together and stuff like that. So I started veering off, getting some reps and stuff at running back and receiver. But the offense was probably a little bit better with me at quarterback because he knew the offense more at receiver and everything like that. And I was always playing DB too while I was playing quarterback. So then senior year, I ended up transferring again. And then I ended up actually, that was my first year playing like full time receiver and still playing DB. So, the ball wasn't in my hands like that. But did pretty good. Left high school. Thought I was going to college as a quarterback. I wanted to go, but I was small, like 5'8", 130. Obviously, I can't play quarterback. So
I
a
feel
lot
that
of
I
people
played
think,
Not to cut
Yeah.
you off real quick, but I played offensive line in high school, offensive and defensive line, and I'm 5'8", so I know all about being
Yeah.
too small for the
Yeah.
position, my man.
Yeah, I was too small, man. The colleges was like,
No,
you got to put on some weight, man. Like 130,
right.
I'm 135 soaking wet, So, so junior college was a big route that I was going to end up eventually taking. And I did my thing senior year, led Milwaukee in interceptions and stuff. So, I had the interception title
There you go.
for Morris Marshall. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. I knew like DB was my wheelhouse. So so funny story, right? So Santa Barbara Community College, they wanted to recruit me and wanted to our running back on our team. And things didn't work out there because California schools didn't offer dorms. So I didn't work in high school and stuff like that. So it was kind of financially kind of hard to get out there.
Sure.
So I ended up looking at closer junior colleges in Minnesota, at Fond du Lac Tribal, Ridgewater Community College, Vermilion Community College, and stuff like that. So I was just hitting up. I emailed probably every junior college in the United States, literally like every junior college you could think of. Even Butte College, Aaron Rodgers went to. They hit me back and was just like, "Nah, we need, nah." I'm like, "All right, cool. California too far anyway." So,
I didn't want to go there anyway.
yeah, I did.
Yep,
I just
I need you.
throwing stuff at the wall, hoping to stick. So I'm in
Amen.
the party. So then I find College of the Redwoods in Eureka. Hit them up. They like my tape. You can come out and play DB or whatever. That was a pretty bad team, so it was like rebuilding things. So I'm like, all right, I got an opportunity to come play. So I couldn't get out to College of the Redwoods because it was like in Northern California, and I had to catch the bus all the way in like Sacramento and drive up, and a whole bunch of stuff. So my mom wasn't feeling it. She like, nah. So I end up telling coach that I was coming to Fond du Lac. So I posted on Facebook and stuff like, oh yeah, I told coach I'm coming to Fond du Lac or whatever like that. One night I was playing the game. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm playing GTA on the PlayStation.
Right on.
And IO number called me. And he's like, yeah, it was the head coach from Vermilion. He called me and stuff. I'm like, oh, all right. So I'm thinking it's like somebody prank calling me or whatever. I answer, yeah, this head coach, Coach Terry Evers, So we talking, he like, well, we got a returning class of our secondary returning. So you come in as a receiver and compete, I'm like, I don't really want to play receiver at the next level, but anything get me on the field, I'm going. So I'm like, yeah, So I'm like, all right, cool. So I post on Facebook, I'm going to Vermilion. I don't know how. I don't know how to this day. Coach Fawcett from Fond du Lac Community College texted me, and he was like, "Good luck at Vermilion." And I was like,
"Oh shit!"
I was like, "How do you even know?" So I was just like, we ended up playing them like week 4 or 5. I was just like, I even know, like. So I go to Vermilion. Come in as a wide receiver. I'm like probably the second smallest receiver. Everybody else like 6'1", 6'3", like 180. By then I put on a little weight. I got in the gym through the summer, got faster. So I was like 5'9", 178, somewhere around there, 180. And I was pretty, pretty in shape or whatever, pretty, still fast or whatever. So come there. And then our offensive coordinator was Coach Holmstrom from Michigan Tech. He was a D2 coach before he came to Vermilion. And after Combine Day, he came to me in the gym. Was like, you ever thought about playing running back? Like I ran the option, quarterback basically, or running back, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, like anything get me on the field, Yeah,
Sure.
I play running back, of course. I ain't getting no reps at receiver. Everybody's 6'3" and stuff. I know I'm not beating out these guys. I'm going to running back, whatever. So I grew up watching like Tavon Austin and DeAnthony Thomas and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna crib every run I get. And so I go to running back. Everything going good. I end up getting a starting job. Our offensive coordinator quit like the second day of 2 days.
Oh shit!
Come back. So I'm sitting there like, man, what in the entire hell just happened? Like he pulled off in his pickup truck. I'm coach, what's going on? He like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm like,
what?
Oh, so I'm like, hey, I bet I'm still starting. I'm cool. Nah, like
Yeah.
our head coach was like, we going to this pro old school running back offense, like the tight end fullback thing. So he just like, yeah, you're not big enough to run the ball. I'm like,
My
so what
God.
you saying? Like I'm second string or something now? So I end up becoming second string. They end up moving our middle linebacker over to running back, Mark Washington. And he was a dog, like 6'2", 230. He was nice. Like Mark was, I didn't mind coming off the bench behind Mark because Mark was that deal. I'm like, all right, cool. So Mark and I just was the scat back. Um, me and Malik Williams, he played at Bemidji State, and he broke a bunch of JUCO records for like yards per game and stuff. Shout out to Malik. Um, so yeah, we did that, and then I was coming in my sophomore year into junior college. I was going back to defense after doing all these conversions from DB to receiver to running back and all this other stuff. All right, whatever. I'm finna go back to my wheelhouse. So I go back
Jesus.
to DB.
All over the place.
Yeah, I'm versatility, man. I try to be versatile whatever I do. So uh just to get a D coordinator heads up that I could play like defense, like I'm official. I was going on like scout team to play corner, and I was checking like our starting offense when I wasn't in. So I go over there play DB. They like, yeah, Tae playing safety. He playing. I can't play safety. I'm not playing safety, man. That's too much grass to cover. I'm a cornerback. Like I don't leave that island. Like I'm a corner. So I go play corner and stuff. Caught a pick. They like, oh yeah, so you coming back? I'm like, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing. I'm like, all right. And then sophomore, my second semester of my freshman year in college was when everything changed. That's when everything changed for me, personal wise and like football wise. So I get the call, my house burned down in Milwaukee, right? So I get the call,
Oh
my house
shit.
burned down, electrical fire, stuff like that. So we just end up, my mom ended up doing like a rent to own house. Everything we everything burned down from like outside in, top
Oh
to
my
bottom or
God.
whatever. So that happened. My brother got incarcerated, and then like the next week, um, my best friend up there that I met, Kelvin Taylor, he ended up getting incarcerated. We went out, last party of the school year, final exams, college party, whatever. A fight break out, things to go left. Everything just happened so fast. So all this happened in like a 2 week span, 2 week span,
Jesus.
literally. And then I end up getting, I was end up owing that school like $1,000, and I almost end up getting kicked off the dorms and stuff, doing young stuff in college, like um, I think I had like liquor and BB guns. Liquor and BB guns, man. It was so boring up there in northern Minnesota. We used to like get drunk and go in the woods and just shoot at each other with BB guns and stuff. Because it
I
was
can't say
boring.
I haven't done it before.
Like, yeah, so like the adrenaline behind it. It was it's whatever. So all that happened in like 2 week span. So now I'm just like everything in life is crashing down, and I'm up here just like making all these mistakes, being young and dumb, not taking care of business. But I'm not telling my family and people who support me at home because they just think like I finally made it out of Milwaukee. I'm doing good with my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm never coming back. Go be something in life. Everything. I end up back in Milwaukee when the school semester ends. Come back to Milwaukee. Um, Still like uh homeless or whatever. We end up getting a house. So actually, the funny story. This leads to like another story. So Dave Mogerson, the head coach for the Iowa Barnstormers. I met him when I was 17. He was recruiting some of my teammates to his football team at UW Milwaukee,
Okay.
and we was friends on Facebook and stuff like that. So we was talking in and out. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up and was like, you know what I'm saying? Can I transfer to UW Milwaukee so I can be home? My mom got 6 kids. I'm the second oldest. The oldest boy, but the oldest kid is in jail. So, I got to step up and be there for my family. Um, Me and him talking, everything like that. And then boom, he ended up letting me come to UWM that fall as his DB assistant coach or whatever. So I'm like, I bet come there, get on his staff. kind of still be around football, see how they do things. I was a student assistant, like recording games,
Okay.
practices, doing all that stuff like that. So that's when I started getting my first taste of coaching. So that's why I started seeing the small stuff like recording film,
Sure.
practices and all that stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. Um, I end up having a kid. I end up getting my son. I actually end up having a son. So now I go work for Dave at the college and everything like that. So now I'm still trying to find other schools to get back to, NAIAs, D3s or whatever. So I transferred to
Sure.
Wisconsin Lutheran. As I get to Wisconsin Lutheran, I'm talking to the coaches. I put on weight by then because of baby fat. I went from like 180 to like 210. So you know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
how
I
I
got to
love how
do
you're
more doing that.
claiming I love how you're claiming baby fat as the
Man,
father.
I did, man. If somebody got put on the weight, man, I gained like 30 pounds. I was like, oh, this is too heavy. So I go to Wisconsin Lutheran. I talk to the coaches. They like, you coming in as a linebacker or a running back? I'm whatever. I don't know. We can just figure
Just
out
want
through
to play
camp. But
football.
I want the ball, so I want to play running back. I want the ball, but I know I'm better at defense. I could just play both ways or play different positions because I was athletic enough. So I go there and make it through camp or whatever. I come in as a running back, make it through camp. Boom. Last week of practice, last week of camp. I talked to the head coach. He like, we can't put you on the roster because we have an NCAA compliance case with you. College of the Redwoods, I told them that I was coming there, but my mom was like, it's too far. So in junior college, they ended up registering football as a credit. So my financial aid put that I showed up. So I made it
Uh,
all through camp, did all this 6 a.m. practice and 7 a.m. practice, everything. You know what I'm saying? Far all the way to getting the running back rotation and all that stuff, just for me to
uh,
get that talk for game week. Like, yeah, we gotta like sit you down until this situation get handled. So I'm like, you gotta be
yeah.
shitting. Like, you gotta be shitting me. I just went through this 2 weeks, like this, college campus is them six, and I was commuting because I stay in Milwaukee. So I was commuting. I had my son, so I was having to balance being a father, a student, and a football player at the same time. So that journey was just hectic by itself. Like
Sure.
6 a.m. practices, then after games and stuff was over, I can't stay and mingle. I gotta go pick up my son, still gotta do homework. So Saturday I get my son do homework, da da da. Sunday I drop him back off, then I got school Monday at like 8, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm
Gee.
saying? I gotta see my son on my way home after practice, and we practice at night, we practice at day, so it's just all over the thing, all over the place. So it just was like being like 4 different places at once. And so I ended up leaving college early. I was like, I left after like the third game. I'm like, I had to make a choice between being a father and being an athlete. And I figured I could play football wherever. If and I kind of pride myself on being a father. So, and
Yeah, for
especially being
sure.
a young father, I'm like 21, 20. So I'm still trying to figure out how the father stuff goes. So, um, yeah. So I'll go on Europlayers, Europlayers.com, put all the film that I have on there. Start trying to network with teams. Bing, bang, boom. West Side Steelers, they hit me up. Me and the coach was talking there, but they wasn't a paying team. So they was like in Australia. So I had to like save up some money to get out to Australia. I think it was like $5,000 or whatever like that. And I'm like, I can't save up that money like with a kid and all these bills and stuff. Like I can't do that. I'm barely making ends meet. Um, then another team actually the day that my son was born. My son was born like on the Sunday during the Packers and Cowboy game. The week of Dak. It was the game. It was the year that Dak and Zeke was rookies.
Oh,
I'll never
okay.
forget. So my son was born as the Packers was driving down the field.
Oh
I'll
shit.
never forget because I almost passed out when he was born. And I was supposed to be in Chicago that weekend. His mom got induced, so I was supposed to be in Chicago that Saturday for like a Euros player tryout and meet and greet, talk to coaches and reps or whatever like that. I was supposed to be in Chicago, but she got induced, so I didn't make it.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
then he was born. that Sunday. So everything was just like, I'm never gonna get my big break. Um, so like a few Hungary teams, the West Side Steelers. So I had, overseas teams, whatever, and they usually play both ways. Their rules was kind of different and everything like that. Like only like the imports, two imports can be on the field together, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I do that, and then I end up uh getting a email and stuff from a team, the Recife Pirates. They want me to come play quarterback in Brazil. So it's not, overseas back then was like the GFL, Germany. That was like the big league to go to. So
Sure.
go to Brazil. I'm like, cool. It's like $500 a game. $500 a month. We pay for everything. So I end up reaching out to Dave again, Coach Moakes. And so me and was coming up with a plan for him to come train me while I was in Milwaukee to play quarterback or whatever. Like, so get my mechanics and stuff together. So I ended up trying out for the TPSFL league for the Illinois Masters, and I ended up making the team as a DB. So they was promising like 320K incentive-based contract. I'm like, oh, that's only in Chicago. That's 2 hours away. Outside of Brazil, that's like 1,000-some miles away. So the Chicago team was closer, and they was offering more money. So now I have Brazil in one hand and the Chicago team in the other. So the Chicago team, of course, me being a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 320K a year. I got a son. I'm staying in Milwaukee. It's a no-brainer. I'm
Easy,
taking
yeah.
the money. It's a no-brainer. So I end up making the team in Chicago. We go through camp. First practice come, everything. The team folds. So we go through all the drug tests, the tax forms, the physicals, all of the whole nine, everything. And me and all these other college athletes just get the call in the group chat, or get the text in the group chat, like, yeah, the team folded, this, and that, and the third. And it basically was just like, well, so I just was like, what I'm
Damn.
supposed to do now? So then that's how I end up getting into coaching. Uh, Dave come up again. Coach Moses come up again. One of the coaches that he coached with back in one of the Milwaukee high schools was looking for a running back coach. And he put me in connection with him. We talked. I get the job at St. Francis as a running back coach. That was my second. That was actually my like first time like, all right, X's and O's, everything like that. Because my
Sure.
first job was like the student job and doing the film, but I knew defense. Like I used to be with Coach Knowles, who's a DC at UWM, and Coach Knowles, he was cerebral with his stuff. I love Coach Knowles, man. So that's my boy, Coach Jim Knowles. That's my
There you
boy.
go.
So, I go over there, whatever, like that, and then I come to St. Francis and get the running back job. And then what happened? I leave St. Francis, COVID hits. That's when COVID hits. So now it's another job opening in Cedarburg. Cedarburg High School, they playing like one of the like top Wisconsin high school teams, divisions and stuff like that. So Cedarburg comes. COVID hit, I guess they don't have a season. So after that, me and Coach Moakes was starting up a podcast, da 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 da. He started up a podcast, we come to all these ideas. He get the job in Albany as director of personnel personnel coach. I text him and stuff. Oh yeah, man, good shit. You know what I'm saying? So cheering him on and stuff. Like, yeah, man. Like one day I'm gonna try to work to get to the pro level. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Uh, like next day he hit me up and was like, I got an opportunity for you. Like, usually when he say stuff like that, it don't be good. I'm like, man, what is freaking Dave got me doing now? I'm like, here goes some freaking. All right. They're like, yeah, you got a chance to, come to Albany and get in the pro ranks and learn and develop. And he told me like a Monday or something, like a Sunday. I had like to Wednesday to accept.
No
I'm
shit.
like, fast forward, I'm 24 now. So this is like
Right.
last year. So now I have a 3-year-old and I have a son on the way. So the my son was supposed to be born May 25th. I got to Albany like May 3rd. I got to
Oh
Albany
shit.
May 3rd. Yeah. So I'm like, I only take the job if he let me come back. So I get to Albany. My first day working in the office, I do a full day. Get back to my hotel room. I called my girlfriend at the time. Yeah, how you doing? And I knew she was supposed to be going to the doctor. So it's like they end up keeping me. I'm gonna get induced. I'm like, all right,
Oh
hopefully
shit.
they don't induce her. I get there, they freaking induce her. I just drove
Oh,
15 hours to New York, 1,000 miles. I just drove 15 hours to Albany just to drop back at 3 a.m. that next day. I got
oh
all the way to Chicago, and she was already pushing. So with COVID and everything, I couldn't come in the hospital and everything because
oh
her
my
mom
god.
was there. So I come the day after. So I literally get there and drop back the next day. I'm like, I knew it was going to happen. I was like, when I get there, it's going to happen. When I get there, she's going to have this kid. I get there, it happens. I'm like, oh man. So the coach was just like, you can come in with the players. I had like 2 or 3 days to spend with my son. I'm like, cool. So now the bittersweet part is that I'm leaving behind two of my kids now. Like I'm leaving behind my newborn baby. I won't see him until he like 4 or 5 months. So I'm like,
Jesus.
man, like now I'm just like, do I even want to go back? Like I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh man, like, cause it's hard. It's a lot to ask of what I'm saying of a woman and your partner. So
Sure.
I'm just like, Dave attached his name to me. Coach attached his name to me, and coach stepped out on good faith and gave me a shot. So I can't, I don't know how many opportunities I'm gonna get. I left college early. I did all this other stuff. Like I don't have a bachelor's degree to fall back on. I don't have the plan B. So I'm just like, it's all or nothing. I go out there, everything works out. We end up winning the championship. Boom, the season end. Uh, and then I ended up in Green Bay. I ended up here through through connections and everything, and yeah, I ended up here, man. So I'm glad to be in Green Bay. That's how I got to where I'm at now. 25 years old, man.
Hell yeah,
25
man.
years old. So,
At
yeah.
25 years old, you've already won a championship. I'm sure that later when I ask you how you think the Blizzard is going to do, you're going to, obviously tell me that you're going to win back-to-back championships. But
Oh
for
yeah.
everybody who doesn't understand what Albany he's referring to, obviously Albany, New York, but the Albany Empire being part of the NAL. So yeah, man, that's wild. I think
Yeah, it's
you
crazy. It's crazy.
face every bit of adversity that any football player could face. I know that you were telling me there was a bit of an injury, that you've had a little bit earlier
Yeah.
on in your
Yeah.
in your college career. If you want to speak on that, you can. I don't want to, bring up anything, but I know that you've gone through injury, you've gone through changing colleges, like you said, in high school, you've gone through moving around, you've gone through your personal adversity. And here you are, man, still climbing the mountain, still doing your thing, still living the life,
Yeah.
of coaching professional football and being involved in such an intimate level the way you are. And first of all, like that's fantastic, man. Like congratulations for being able to push through all of that and still be able to, live your dream, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was hard. It was
I
hard,
bet.
man. I went and got some tattoos when I was like 16. I got some tattoos on my chest. It say RIP, respect, integrity, and perseverance. And when I was in elementary school, I won a perseverance award like 3 times. I'm like, oh, what's perseverance? And, I didn't know. I think they just passing out stuff. I don't know perseverance. I didn't. What's perseverance? And the ability to just fight through and keep pushing and never give up. So it was a word that stuck with me since I was growing up, just moving around as a kid, uh, just being able to adapt. And you got to take everything on the chin. You just got to take it on the chin, suck it up, and roll. That's it. Never get too high, never get too low in life. You know, that's how I got to where I was at now, and just having like faith and just meeting the right group of men and meeting the right group of people to be around. And yeah, man. So it's a lot more to come, definitely.
For sure, man, and that's important, man. And we'll get into Coach Mo a little bit
Mhm.
later, but it really is one of the big things that I was told as a kid, and I never really figured out, in all honesty, until I became a player rep for pro level. It's not so much about what you know; it's about who you know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the more you can surround yourself with good contacts and networking and putting yourself in front of the right people, like that's big, man.
Hmm. Definitely is.
But
You never
so
know
you,
who, yeah, you never know who's gonna be who, man.
so you're telling me that you've played at the high school level, you played at the collegiate level, and now you're coaching at the pro level. Can you kind of tell the fans a little bit of a difference between what have you seen as the difference between playing at that high school, college, and now pro levels? Like, what are like some of the big similarities that you've seen? Obviously, football is football, right? But like, talk to me a little bit about those differences.
Um, High school, I kind of look at it as the development stage. You develop in high school. That's where your habits kick in as a player. Whether you're a guy who's going to cheat your reps or you going to do more. You're going to be the do more guy or you're going to just coast. I had different stages. I'll be lying if I said I just was a standout football player and all this other stuff. You know, um, one of the things that always stuck with me, that always got me on the field, was being able to adapt, being versatile, and just being smart. That was one
Yeah.
big thing because I wasn't always the fastest, I wasn't always the most athletic, but whenever you needed to play, I always knew where I was going. I always knew what everybody else was doing, so I knew how to put myself in a position to win. So high school is where you really learn how to develop those habits. You can develop good habits or bad habits. Going the extra mile or underdoing reps. I was the guy who was obviously, well, I ain't gonna say obviously, but I teeter reps. Coach said bench press 10 times. I probably do it like 8. The small things in high school can kind of set the tone for you as an adult and as a football player. Because then now those habits come with you in the college where the playing field is even. You know, Everything reset all over again. Everybody was the man where they was at, or some people
Hmm.
was the underdog where they was at. So you don't want to get passed up because in high school, coaches can pull you to the side and say, "Oh yeah, this and this and this," and coach you up. College, they just like figure it out, or you'll be a number. You'll be on special teams, or you'll be on the back of the bench somewhere. So I knew how to be the guy. I knew how I feel to be the guy. I knew how I feel to be the number, and I knew how I feel to just be the guy. Like you just here, like whatever. So as you transition to the pro level, we all had these things where we see people on Sundays in the NFL. Like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. So it's kind of like you get here, and me being a young coach, man, when I first got to Albany and I seen the first game, these dudes are gladiators. Like, linemen are
Hmm.
running like inside those walls, man. Like, this a whole different ball game. Like, funniest, like, realest thing ever. Right after the first game, I text my boys like, "Hey, yeah, that just anybody can play pro. I can out the window. Like, this a
That's dead.
whole different ball game. Like, it's a different ball game. Like, like it's crazy, man. So like, you think about it, you got the NAL and IFL, then you got Canada, then you got the NFL. So you got like all these different levels. Everybody like trying to climb, and everybody keep coming down. So it's just like you got people who been there. So the goal is to
Mhm.
get there and stay there. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people can get to college. Not too many people can get to pro. But not too many people can get to the CFL. Not too many people get to the NFL. Like it's those things. You always got to turn it up a notch. Like so that's it's just the mental, like the smallest things. Can't remember playbooks or just off the field issues. Anything like anything can like keep you. So that's one of like the biggest things that I've seen as a young coach. Just the smaller things matter at the like the higher level you go, the more things are in jeopardy because there's more money, it's different brands, so it's just the more you got to tighten up and be a professional. So that's what it is. That's one of the biggest things that I've seen.
For sure, man, for sure. And especially running a football podcast, right? It's easy to watch these games and Monday morning
Mhm.
quarterback. You'd be like, please, I could have run through that hole. What was he thinking? The hole was right there, and he bounced it. So it's easy to run your mouth the way that I definitely do. I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm above it. I definitely run my mouth. You know what I mean? Like I'm some hot shit at 5'8" and 300 pounds. But yeah, man, I'm sure, especially having played and coaching it definitely puts, everything really into perspective. So obviously, Coach, we brought up that you've coached in the NAL last year, won a championship. You're coaching in the IFL this year. There's also leagues out there like the CIF, the AAL. There's the AIWC, the AIFA. There's a lot actually of arena leagues. So in your experience, what is there like rules differences? Is there speed differences, or essentially are they just different brands in different parts of the country? Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit more?
So the NAL is the National Arena League, which is based off straight arena football. Different rules, different concepts. You got the one high motion man, you got the Mac and Jack. Your Jack can only move left and right. Your Mac can only blitz or read, things like that. You got some guys use a fullback, some guys use an extra lineman that's like your running back, fullback is type role. Then in the IFL, you have like outdoor football, but inside. So it's still the same concepts, just different techniques and different things like you give and take out because of the like field spacing and everything. So it's exciting, man. One thing that they got in common is like you get a lot of top-notch guys, like from those NFL practice squads, those preseason, these college All-Americans from D2, D3s, D1s, D1As, AIAs. You get guys from all over like competing. And these are like top level guys, you know what I'm saying? So like that's why I say again, the playing field it just keep getting even and even, and you got to keep separating yourself. So we all competing. It's like 3 different leagues competing for players, and then you still got the other leagues with the AAL teams. Those teams are more they get top-notch guys too also, but those teams are a lot of some semi-pro guys. If you got to develop more, you want to get some more skill in, that's where you kind of learn the game. You can use that as your college, or that is like your rookie year. Then you never know, 1 year, 2 years, you may go get a camp invite from a Green Bay Blizzard or somebody, or
Sure.
and get a shot at the big time and show that you belong. So one thing they all share in common is like the interaction with fans. That's what we come in different with the NFL. Fans right there, like you can touch players, you right over the bench, like you can hear everything, So that's one of the exciting things. The halftime shows, the field, like you got the little commercial breaks for YouTube and stuff where you can see people running on the field and shooting t-shirts into the stands and
That's cool.
small stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can interact with the players. Like after the games, you will see the players and you come down and touch them and talk to them. So it's just like, it's different fan bases. Like it's even across the board. You got teams where people love football. Some cities where it's just solely football there. They don't have basketball teams, so everyone is devoted to going there,
Sure.
Green Bay, we got the Packers here, so we still do our thing with the Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? They like it. And we got the Blizzmobile. So, people see us in our cars and everything and our van, and you know what I'm saying? You got the Blizzmobile. They see us in the van. Oh yeah, when the season start, the fans will come talk to you. They see us out and stuff. So you get to interact with these players, you know what I'm saying? Because they like average Joes. They look like average Joes, but when the pass come on and get on the gridiron, it's like, that switch flip, So it's a beautiful thing, man, being at this level and seeing how everything transition between different levels and different teams and different leagues. So yeah, man, it's dope. It's dope.
Right on. So tell me, speaking of coaching, you got into coaching so young. You said before you're about 20 years old when you got into coaching.
Yep.
And even if it's just like a student coaching, kind of role, but now, you said you're 24 years old.
25. Yep, I'll be 26 in June. 25 right now.
My apologies, 26.
Nah.
You're 20 or 25. You're 25 years old, and you're coaching guys that are your age, maybe a year or two younger, maybe a year. They're in these are your peers, right? You're not some 50-year-old coach coaching a bunch of 20-year-olds. These are gentlemen that are your age. And you've kind of always been doing that since you've been coaching. Has this always developing guys that are your age and maybe a little bit older. How do you balance that? What's that dynamic kind of like? Do you get any pushback from guys from like, you're just a kid yourself, who you're talking to? Or kind of like, a player coach, doesn't matter the age, there's that, level of respect?
Um, that was one of the things that I faced from a lot of older coaches who've been coaching for obviously before like I was born, and so a lot of coaches I run into the wall, but that's how I gain their trust, and that's how I show that I belong. I talk to older coaches, whether it's at the high school level or they like picking your brain, and the one time you fold under pressure, it can make or break you. First impressions are everything. Sometimes you don't get that second call back. Sometimes you don't get that second opportunity. So I had to talk with older coaches. They grill me hard. You're just a kid. I got kids older than you, and I was like, what do you know about football? And I'm, and you just gotta show your wits and everything. And the first thing that worked for me before I even pick up a playbook, before I put on a polo shirt, khakis, whatever, I understand as a person. I try to get to people as a person. The ultimate goal is to be there for the head coach as an assistant coach. You be the best assistant that he can have. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So we still compete because one day I want to work to a coordinator position. He got coordinator, so I'm there learning from them. So one day I can be a coordinator to be a head coach. And as players come in my age, they come in fighting for jobs and everything, and mini camp, and day in and day out, they fighting for playing time. So they see me grinding, I see them grinding. So now we have that level of respect where,
Sure.
we can kick it and laugh and stuff in practice and crack jokes or whatever like that. But when it's time for me to be a coach or do something coach-like, understand that it's business. And
Sure.
we're men before anything. Before we put on uniforms, we're men. So the biggest thing is, with me being young, of course, I'm a player's coach, and
Sure.
I believe as being a coach, you got to be able to adjust and adapt to the different generations, because the game changed from 80s to the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s to the 2020s. Like, the game is going to keep changing, and you got to adapt. That's how Nick Saban been around so long. Bill Belichick, that's how those guys been around. The minute you stop learning, the minute you stop changing, is the minute you become stagnant and the game pass you up. Luckily, I got a head start that a lot of coaches don't get. Like, coaches don't start coaching till like 40s, 30s, 50s. I'm already like 20 years younger, 15 years younger, figuring
Sure.
all this stuff not out now. So now I'm maturing faster. I mature faster than other players and stuff like that, because I wasn't the player who was, one of the highest paid player, and I did all the stuff in my playing career and stuff like that, and did all the stuff that athletes do. So now I approach the game different, and I learned to, at the end of the day, I'm here to learn from whoever above me. And how I train myself is that, I hope nobody take this the wrong way, I always try to connect and talk to people who are above the position I'm at.
Sure.
Because I always want to talk to coordinators and head coaches. Assistant coaches, we share our stories, but if you're not where I want to be, I always believe in dressing and act as the job that you want, not the job that you act. So me being an assistant coach, and being a defensive back coach, whether it's high school or pro, being a special team coach, whether it's high school or pro, one day I want to be a defensive coordinator. I don't
Sure.
just want to coach DBs. I want to control the whole defense. When I move up from DC, I want to be a head coach. So now I'm learning how to balance all these hats, and I'm seeing all these different guys do these things. And that's what worked for me. And when you're a solid person and people see your work ethic and people see the person that you are, you don't have to speak. Sometimes your actions speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? People who've been around you and know you, they speak on your behalf. Your resume speaks for itself, not just on the paper what you accomplished, just you as a man and as a person, the lives that you changed and the lives that you touched and all these connections that you made. So with me, man, the players, I gained players' trust. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it was hard my first year. I was around I was around some pretty veterans. Like, these guys are AFL veterans. Tommy Grady, Mo Ruffins, Derrick Ross, Darius Prince, Malachi Jones, Joe Sykes was our D-line coach. Sergio Gilliam was our DC. He played at Clemson. Like Coach Damon Ware, he been a long time guy, like established guy in the coaching world and everything. So Coach Tom Manas, he been doing this thing, and now I'm at Green Bay around Coach Corey Roberson. You know what I'm saying? Coach Matty Ice, I call him Matty Ice. That's a bad man right there. Coach B. And then we got Coach Dean Peacock. Then I already seen Coach Mose, you know what I'm saying? So I'm around all these guys. These are guys that I'm looking at, whether they play or coaches, like, because they know the game. Players see the game from players' standpoint, and coaches see the game from coaching standpoint. So if I can find a way to get info from players, see how players think when this and this happened, then I see how coaches think when this and this happened, the whys and the when and the where, how and who, that would make me a better coach and make me better understanding of the game, because sometimes I'm so busy here, I can't go be behind the coach. Sometimes, so it's those things where I got to kind of figure it out myself and wing it. And one of the things that coach always tell me since I got to Green Bay, everything he preached in practice and every day, he always said, if you don't ask questions, I assume you know it. I assume you know it. So,
that's fair.
You never want to be the guy who asks a million questions, because in school we taught you ask a million questions, like you're going to get picked on is bad. But being a young coach, I'm raising my hand. I'm, hey, coach, this and this and this and this. I need that reassurance to know. So when I'm in that predicament, when I'm seeing what he's seeing, it becomes second nature. I don't even have to second guess it, So, yeah, so it's just a matter of finding that balance and trying to be a bridge. Because here, before the Coach Tae with the players or whatever that is, I'm still a coach. That would come in front of my name.
Sure.
So I'm part of that brotherhood with coaching. As a staff, we got to have a solid front. But then being a young guy, I got to grind just like these young guys fresh out of college and everything, because we are the same age, like you said. And then not only do coaches look at how, oh, he's young, the players look at that like we can take advantage of a young coach. Mm-hmm. But you got to be solid. You give respect, and I get it. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tae T, this and this and that and third, but at the end of the day, they know, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I like Tae. You know what I'm saying? I like Coach Tae.
Right.
He a solid dude. And, the players, they when I was in Albany, the players was like, even the Albany supporters, even Green Bay people when I was back at home and everything, they offered a lot of support. You young, man. Like, we talk every day. Players, we talk so much. Sean Lockett, Big Lock, my boy OG. A bunch of coaches and players reach out like, man, yeah, you young, you on the uprise, everything, and that's kind of satisfying hearing that from players, because they see me when like the players in Albany see me carrying these bags with my boy Sam. You know what I'm saying? So they see me doing all the stuff, carrying the bags, recording film, and all that stuff. Like, you got to put in work now when you young. Put in that work as a young coach, so that way when you get to call the shots, you're not missing a step. You know what it takes to get to that seat. When you sitting at the front of that desk, you know what I'm saying? You the face of that team, of that brand. So I just, I gain from everything, because as you go through life, you only know what you learn from people.
For sure.
You only know what you learn. So I try to, whoever I talk to, I always try to get something from a relationship, whether it's words of advice, whether it's whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I filter through it, and I just keep it in my back pocket and always hold on to it. So, yeah, that's a big thing that worked out for me, man.
Amen, man. And I mean, to your point, of where you stand in this world, you've got, Coach Mo, who's had your back since day one, man. It seems, you've surrounded yourself with the right guys, right? Being in this position, having these coaches and these players that have been veterans, having your back and stuff. You've put yourself in the right, world, for you. And B, just for where you've been, 25 years old, you already have a championship ring under your belt. I'm sure, like I alluded to earlier, and we'll ask you later, you're going to tell me that you're going to win back-to-back championships, you're on the rise, man, and that's amazing. And another thing I wanted to point out, as you kind of said it, and I'm experiencing now this in my stance, there's so much to the world of football, right? So, and I've experienced it now in 3 ways. So I've never coached. When I was in high school, I coached my younger brother on, his 8 years, so his Mighty Mites team. So I don't count that as coaching, right?
Yeah.
Don't hold him by the face mask, can't punch kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't consider that coaching, but I've played the sport. I understand it as a fan. I would like to think that I understand it deep enough that I could coach at the high school level. That's kind of the goal for me personally. Is I would love nothing better than to make $50,000 a year coaching high school football, and that'd be my
Yeah.
big time job. I don't need to make millions. I just want to coach football.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think that I know it well enough to at least coach at that level. I understand the game and I love the game, but there's these different aspects, right? There's this aspect as a player, there's this aspect as a fan. For you, there's this aspect as a coach, and now what I'm going through, being a player rep for pro level, is there's the business aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you talk about it, when players get cut and this, that, and the third, it's just business. But it seems like it's just a phrase that gets said until you're put in this position where, it's just a business. Like I've had to have that conversation with a couple of coaches already, trying to negotiate things, and that phrase has gotten thrown around, and now having been in the business side of it, it's just business. Isn't some phrase. Like, no offense, man, it's just business. It's X's and O's, it's dollars and cents, and it's it's so I'm sure you've kind of faced that realization going from a player to a coach. These different, you can understand the game as a player, you can understand, and now you've been super versatile. You understand the game as a running back, as a quarterback, as a wide receiver, as a DB. So you understand the game from different levels of play. But I'm sure you can attest to this, is that the difference in these positions that you take, from player to coach, completely, it's football, completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From player to fan, completely different. From fan to business, completely different.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of not a jarring realization for me, but it's been an important realization, and an interesting one at that, to kind of see the back end side of things. That it's not just how the fuck didn't you see that hole? It was right there. You could drive a Mack truck through it. You know what I mean? It's not as a lineman in high school. It's not just, okay, we're running a 34 dive. I'm supposed to hit this guy and drive, or we're pass blocking right. Take my pass step, and if he wants to overpower me, fine. We're gonna go all the way to the end zone. You know what I mean? Like it's a completely different understanding to the game. Same coin, just 16 different sides, and it's wild, man. And like I said, I'm sure you can attest to that.
Definitely. One of the things that you said, that was a realization for me, man, was the cutting players aspect. Man, that was probably one of the worst things I had to do. Like, I did not want to do, man. Got to Albany, and you had those coaches meetings. Like, yeah, we cutting so and so and so and so. I'm just like, oh man, like these are some big dudes. Like, like I don't want to be the guy. That's like walking the guy to his death on death row. It's like you gotta see him first thing in the morning. You gotta catch him right before he get comfortable. And then that's when players kind of get that, oh shit, here come Tae moment. Like they know when they see me early in the morning, they just like, man, he finna come get me, and I gotta like do the notebook thing. Like, yeah, coach wants a playbook. He want to talk to you upstairs. And first time I did that, man, my freaking heart was pounding out my chest so bad. I was like, I don't want to tell this dude. Like, I don't want to tell this guy, because he was actually like a good player, and he was like a great dude, But I had to understand to look at players different. I was looking at these guys trying to build relationships as like friends and like my boys, and we the same age. We can kick it, this and that and third. But then when it was time to put on that coach hat, it was kind of hard, because I got to do my job. I didn't come here to build friendships and make friends and hang out.
Win championships.
So it just was, man, that was like probably one of the hardest parts about my job at this level so far. And it kind of made me the person that I was now, but it was tough, man. Like, that is tough. Like, seeing a player get cut, and these are like guys who's like sack leaders at their school, record-breaking guys. It just was like, damn. But then one man's no is another man's yes. Like, you may not be it when you go to another team and have a freaking Hall of Fame career. So, I had to tell them, like, always be professional, man. Like, when you get that, and that's even when you're not cutting players as a coach or player, whatever it is that you do, just be professional. Because a lot of people think being professional is the money. It's money. Nah, it's being able to be consistent on a day-to-day basis and always getting better. And then as coaches, you always want the best from people. So that way, when they bullshitting you, you know it. So you always want to be professional. And the game is 90% mental and emotional and 10% physical. Where, you know, you got a strong mind, your body going to be strong. Because it's going to be them days your body be like, I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. And your mind over matter. When they say that, that stuff is true, man. And a lot of people think, oh, yeah, I need motivation to do this and this and this and this and this. Most people the successful people in the world don't need motivation to do what they got to do. It takes discipline. Because in life, you're going to do a lot more things that you don't want to do than that you do want to do. You're going to hear no a lot more than you're going to hear yes. And once you come to a realization like that it takes discipline. You got to get up, be on time. If you're on time, you're late. So be early. You know what I'm saying? And as players, like as you go through it and everything like that, small things matter. It's the smallest things, knowing your playbook, knowing where to line up. You know what I'm saying? Being that guy. And as a young coach, just being able to take an ass chewing. Like, I'm freaking, man, my first time it happened to me, I was so freaking emotional. I'm in the room like, fuck, I'm finna go home. Like, this man sending me home. Like, he's sending me home. I'm not, no, I'm fired. I just was in the room packing. I was like all emotional, like, man, what in the entire fuck is going on? Like, you know, I'm just like, wow, like, it was tough. It was tough because it's different taking it as a player. But as a coach and being a young coach, you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get. He could have just been one and done. Go on. I'm like, oh, man. So, you know, by the grace of God, he didn't do that to me. So, from that day forward, you got to turn it up a notch. Like, because now, you know what I'm saying? You got to just turn it up a notch. Just no more excuses, no more trying to explain, no more. Just do it. Just do it. Whatever it is. If you can't do it, figure out a way. Make it happen. Ask for help. Do whatever it is. Do it. Just figure it out. To where you got to earn your keep. When people see coaches, they just like, oh, they just got to call X's and nothing. Nah, it's a lot more. And there's a lot more stuff that I've yet to experience. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that coordinators and head coaches deal with that I don't have to deal with. So, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I just try to, and everything that I'm learning at the pro level now is making me a better coach for high school, because I don't go to the high school level and look down on those coaches because I'm here, like, you know,
for sure.
Like I told the high school coach when we talked, he was like, oh yeah, like, what can you bring to the table? Everything like that. I told him I'll be your best assistant coach, hands down. I'm your go-to guy, and you know what I'm saying, everything that I learned at the pro level is me building better coaching habits at the high school level. Everything I learned at the high school level, me building better coaching habits at the pro level. Doing the extra stuff, getting in that extra film, just doing the smallest stuff, the small tedious stuff that people complain about. Because you make decisions. So when you go there, just be 100% there, you know? Just be 100% there. That's it. Don't complain, don't cry, don't pout. Be there while you there. When you leave, you leave. That's it. And just get the job done. No explanations, no, you know? So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you hit it on the head.
All right, man. So we're nearing the end of this thing. I've alluded to this a couple of times, but I want to know, what's the official take on the Green Bay Blizzard this year? What can we expect out of them? What do you think the record's going to be? And you know, are we expecting a championship? What are we looking at?
Yeah, man. We going into you know, we take the game at a time. We don't overlook anybody. You don't want to overlook, and you know what I'm saying. But it's a couple of games that's marked for me personally. You know, we get to play the Iowa Barnstormers. I get to see, you know what I'm saying, my OG, my mentor, Coach Moog. So, you know, it's always gonna be good to go to coach against him and see them. We seen them like 3 times. Really, our schedule, man, we looking forward to playing everybody, you know.
Sure.
We, you know, it's one of those things where you just kick ass, take names later, and it start with us, you know. Yeah, it's championship or nothing. That's our mindset, and that's what we working towards, you know. And you know, camp and everything just started, so we just really like getting the right group of guys here. So when the season kick off, you know, when the Blizzard boys come to town, the Blizzard come to town, man, and when the home games and everything strike up,
you gonna see Coach Matt, you gonna see Coach Rowe, you know, Coach Dean. You gonna see me over there and everything, and we got a great staff in place. You know what I'm saying? Some young guns between me and Coach Matt, the OC. You got Coach Corey. You know what I'm saying? He doing this thing, Coach of the Year a couple years ago. Coach Dean, the OG. So you know we got a nice arsenal, and you know we bringing everything together as a staff and as a team. So y'all live in Wisconsin, wherever you at, Green Bay Blizzard coming to town. You know, just be ready to play ball, man. That's it. We're gonna play ball and we're gonna play our football. We're gonna set the tone and you know, we're gonna do our thing, and that's what it is. So yeah, we gonna shock a lot of people this year. We gonna do our thing this year, definitely.
I love the confidence, man.
Yeah,
Are we gonna see back-to-back rings out of Coach Tae? You're walking away from a second season in a row with another piece of jewelry on your finger.
Man, hey, I wouldn't be mad if it happened, but you know what I'm saying? Being humble. It's not, you know, it's not just about me. It's about the team. Of course, man, I would love to go back to back, but it's about the team. Me personally, you know, it would be nice to have a little green. But hey, any given Sunday, any given Saturday, we line up. We gonna line up, and we're gonna have to battle it out. Only thing that can save you when you line up against the Blizzard, you know, is the Lord Himself. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Especially that defense, man. The proof is in the pudding. Coach Robe doing this thing over there on that side, and you know, I'm learning from one of the best right now in the game. You know, Coach Roberson, 30 picks last year, man. You know, 30 picks. Come on, man. Like, you know, we doing our thing and we gonna bring it together. So, as a unit, we definitely got to bring a championship to Green Bay. We gonna do it. I'm telling you, it might not be this year, it may be whenever, but we gonna get it done. This year, next year, whenever. When it's our time, it's gonna be our time, and if it's not our time, we gonna make it our time. So, you know,
Coach,
that's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. I love that you're staying true to who you are and you're trying to be humble. But I can see you like doing your best work.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Rub me my ring. I know you want to say it. I know I got your back. I can see the gears turning, but I see you staying true to who you are, and I respect that. Yeah. I respect it. You're a better man than me. You're a completely better man than me. I don't give a shit if I'm down by 50. I am going to run my mouth. I swear to God, I never shut the hell up. So I'm confident in loss, my man. I promise you that. So you know what? I got to give you a lot of credit for staying humble and staying true to you.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to take
that, man. That photo of like Joe Burrow coming off the field in the national championship.
Yeah,
I don't care if I'm in sales, right? So my job is to literally sell things. I don't care if a customer just walked out and told me no. I'm still the greatest salesperson that has ever walked the face of the planet.
That's how it gotta be, man.
Most arrogant human ever. I don't care if I'm down by 50. Run me my ring. I'm coming back. I'm building for dramatic comeback. So I respect that you're a very humble man. But tell me, man, like I said, you know, you got a ring under your belt. You're a young coach. You know, you've got a lot of experience already at 25 years old. You got 5 years, you know, and a ring to show for it. So what does the future hold? You know, like you talked about, you know, you want to move up and stuff. So, you know, kind of give us that 5-year outlook. You know what I'm saying? Like what can we expect from Coach Tae in the future?
5 years, well, I'll be about 30, 31-ish. Oh, man, I'll probably be.
Before you start, I'm 30. I'm coming up on 30 years old next month, so you better watch how you proceed very carefully, sir.
Man. Yeah, man, about 5, man. Hey, one of the big things for me, I had to learn how to do is slow down. You know, I won that ring and I'm like, I'm finna be a defensive coordinator. Is that like, you know?
Call the Patriots tomorrow, man.
Bill better call me. So it's one of those things. Man, you know, I learned from the people around me and the men that I talked to with Coach Mose and Coach Roberson. You know, I want to move correct. I don't want to make my first job my last job. My first job as a DC or head coach, whatever may come. I don't want to make that my last job. You know, it's hard to get here, but it's even harder to stay around. And, you know, being a young coach, I got to prove myself every day. So, you know, I try to take everything a day at a time. And, you know, I want to live in the moment. So one of the big goals for mine, I'm saying it here now, you know, they say speak things into existence. I'm saying it here now. One of the biggest goals for mine right now, as I develop over the years, I want to be the youngest coach in IFL history. So I want to be the youngest head coach in IFL history. Like, I'm coming for that. You know, I see Sean McVay doing this thing in the league. I feel like I'm around a great group of men, and then in front of the right person at the right time with the right resume and the right person behind, right people behind my back. I feel like anything is possible. But first, I gotta lay the groundwork so when I get there, I know what I'm doing and I can stay around. But just short-term goals, man. Hey, I'm in Green Bay with it, man. It's right down the road from Milwaukee. I get to have my kids come, my family and friends and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you see the Green Bay, man. You see it, man. Like, hey, I'm here, man. I'm here. I love it here, man. Like, Green Bay is it. Hey, recruiting point. You want to come to Green Bay? We got nice facilities. We got a van. We got a Blizzmobile. You know what I'm saying? We got nice sponsors.
Hold up.
Everything.
I know that you are not trying to recruit players.
We recruiting.
Dead in the eye when I'm trying to tell you players. I know that is not happening.
I'm telling you. We gonna talk. We gonna talk. Because I gotta hit you up anyway. We gonna talk. But man, I'm telling y'all out there, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some professional athletes, you feel like you got what it takes. Come to Green Bay. You're gonna be around a nice group of people in a nice town. You got the Packers across the street from you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's called Title Town for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Come put your legacy in Green Bay with the Favres and Aaron Rodgers and Charles Woodsons and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we only gonna get better, and it only gonna get better for the Blizzard, because you know what I'm saying? We drop the temp wherever we go. Everybody can't be a Blizzard boy. Everybody can't do what we do in Green Bay, and we separate ourselves. And that's what Coach Tae do. We all about working hard, the grit and grind. It ain't about being fancy. We get it out the mud, but in Green Bay, we get it out the snow because it's cold and snowy up this thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. Coach Tae, as long as you see me around, man, for the next couple of years, you're going to see me in the Green Bay outfit until it's time for me to do what I got to do. And hopefully I progress and make it home here under Coach Roberson and do my thing under him. And, we just going to pass the torch, and we going to do whatever it is. With me and Coach Matt, we gonna carry this thing out. I got Coach Matt back, OC. I got Coach Corey back, the head coach in DC. And I do my thing with the special teams and the DBs and everything like that. So we gonna you see Coach Tae around, man. I'm gonna definitely be in this green and for a minute. I'm being this green, man, for real.
I love it, man. I love it. Before I let you go, before we say goodbye to everybody, it's something that I didn't let you know that I knew, but I'm a stalker. I know that you have a YouTube channel. I know that you're across a couple different social medias. That's my job, my man. My job is to research. My job is to do things. I got to come into things with as much ammo as I can. So before I let you go, if you want to plug your socials, where people can find you, if you want them to follow you or not. I know I was watching some of your YouTube. I know that you were talking about, as the season comes up, they're going to do some behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I'm super excited for that. So I'm really hoping that you do continue that, not to put too much pressure on you. Doing coaching and stuff, but you made me excited watching that first episode. I got the second one on lock that I'm ready to watch. So plug yourself, plug where people can find you. If you want them to follow you in certain places, I'll leave that up to you. Let the people know where to find the IFL, where to find the Blizzard, what the website they can go to buy merch. Do all the paying the bills kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, time to pay the bills. Follow me on YouTube at Coach Tae Brooks. You will see me in the Green Bay Blizzard joint. It's nice, what I'm saying? It's nice in the green and stuff up there. You can follow, add me on Facebook, man. I'm not one of those people who think, oh yeah, I'm regular guy just trying to make his dream come true. And yeah, you can add me on Facebook at Tae, Tae, space D, space Brooks, Brooks. You will see me on there. You can follow me on Instagram at _Tevion Brooks, TEVION BROOKS. You can go to the IFL.com if you want to keep up with the IFL, the Indoor Football League. Go to GreenBayBlizzard.com. We got all type of stuff with the schedule, the rosters. You want to know more stuff about the players on our team. You want to look at the merchandise that we have. If you're in Wisconsin, wherever we come to town, we play y'all. Frisco, Mass, Iowa, Quad Cities, wherever we at. Say what's up to your boy, man. Say what's up. You see me out and about, say what's up. You in Green Bay, come to the games, man. Hey, we back and we live. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't never been to an IFL game, wherever, it's football year round. y'all check in with it. Check in with your local teams. Hopefully we play them so you can see how the Green Bay Blizzard do it. It's a new year. It's new energy. It's new everything. And, you know, so, yeah, just hit me up, man. Find whatever apps you got, whatever socials you got. Yeah, reach out, man. High school coaches, college athletes, whoever, man. I talk to everybody, man, because I'm still growing and learning myself. I love people. So hit me up. We can talk football all day. I got a PlayStation. We can play Madden. I'll put 80 on somebody. You know, play 2K. You can catch me in Record Apart. You know, so I got my squad. So it's what Call of Duty, GTA, all that. You know, I do it all, man, when I got time. So, yeah, man, in the off season, hit me up. We can play games, whatever. And make sure you check out the YouTube channel. And, yeah, got some stuff dropping, man. And make sure y'all look out for the breaking down the tape stuff, man. Like, this is epic right here, man. Like, well, is this the first IFL coach? Like, first IFL?
You're my first, my man. I've had a former NFL tight end on. We had a wide receiver and quarterback coach out of Cali on, but we're starting to, you know, we're expanding a little bit more. We've had some women athletes on, some women in sports that we're really proud to have on. But you're my first dive into the IFL, brother. You're setting the bar.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
guys on that. I'm hopefully live up
Yeah.
to it. But so for you, Massachusetts is going to be the closest that you play from me because I live right on the border of PA, New York, and New Jersey. So Mass is going to be the closest that I got. So when you guys are out there, I'm demanding like field passes. I want at least one. No, I'm just playing with you, man. But honestly, brother, I appreciate you coming on here. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate
I'm
you
glad to be
answering my LinkedIn request. I appreciate you, you know, taking the time tonight. We had some tech issues earlier.
Yeah.
You know, and perseverance, man. You brought that up earlier in the episode. Perseverance is a big thing that played into your life tonight for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so again, I just appreciate all of it, man. You've been a blast to talk to. We'll definitely keep in contact. We'll have you on for an episode in the future. You know, maybe we'll bring you on for, so in the off season, I want to do individual episodes for each team, you know, NFL team, as far as like what their fans can expect out of them, what they want to see kind of happen, stuff like that. Maybe we'll bring you on for a Green Bay episode so we can talk some NFL. But Tae, it's been an absolute
Yes, sir.
pleasure.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
definitely talk.
Yes, sir, man. I'm here, man. It was an honor. Pleasure was all mine, man. Pleasure was all.
I love it. And for the fans, you already know where to find us, man. It's breaking down the tape everywhere. You can Google it. You'll see me. I've gotten, you know,
official,
that
official, man.
Google me. Google me. See, I'm fucking it up. But you know, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok. By the way, I want to bring that up. I'm following the Blizzard on their official TikTok, and they ain't got nothing.
That I'm finna take over that. I got you. We feel that. Hey, it's
you
a new faces in town, man.
You're talking about the fans. That's the thing. You know, I've seen clips from YouTube and stuff like that on Arena League. Can you imagine the TikTok shot from like the sides like that, like a catch from?
Yeah.
My man, you gotta get on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna holler at them because I need to get on their socials, man. It's on. Yeah, we all across the Midwest, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota. Hey, be Blizzard fans. We ain't worried about the Iowa Barnstormers and Quad Cities and all that. You support the Blizz. You see it? The Blizzard, man. Green Bay.
Anyone else that? He went right after Coach Mo. I think I'm gonna have to get Coach Mo on next week.
He know what time it is. He know what time it is. He know what time.
He could have picked any other team, but man, he went right after Coach
Oh yeah,
Mo.
it's always that. It's always that, man. I love that.
I'm gonna
dude.
go talk to him on LinkedIn. I gotta go talk to him now. Anyway, guys, you know where to find us. Later on tonight, by the time you hear this will be everywhere. Again, Coach Tae, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Generally, we end this with my co-host saying, I said what I said. And for me to bring this up, this is my sneaky way of getting it in there without taking his thing. Because I'm not cool enough to have like a phrase. I tried out something for a little while. It didn't stick. But that's Hector's thing. So I'm not going to end it that way. But I will say it's been a pleasure. And we'll catch you again soon, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.